This is E-Commerce Uncensored. Brought to you by Fast Forward. We're coming to you fully loaded and exposed with all the strategies and techniques for growing your e-commerce business.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. This is episode number 170. 170. My name's Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
Seriously, 170. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Closing in on 200.
200.
We're close. It feels like that one day my wife, when we did 100. Do you remember when we did 100 and I came home and my wife had this whole celebration for me?
Because you are...
What?
I wouldn't even let my wife do half of the things that she does for you.
You wouldn't let your wife celebrate the fact that you did 100 episodes on a podcast? Or bring you coffee during the day?
Forget about coffee. Forget about coffee. We go away and she packs your fucking clothes. You don't even know what you fucking bring. That's the first thing. Kev, what'd you bring to go out to dinner? I don't know. My wife packed for me.
I think part of it is like, I don't really want to do it, but I think it's more of the fact that she wants to control what I wear more than anything.
You're both control freaks.
Because I'll just pack t-shirts. Like I won't think about it at all.
That's what I do. Yeah.
But you overpack. You overthink about every. We go away for 2 days on a trip to California, and you bring like a huge suitcase, and you got to ask me 100 questions what you should wear every day. That's not what I do. I just kind of throw everything in a bag.
No, you don't throw anything in the bag.
Yeah,
your
right.
wife,
I don't, yeah.
Your wife folds everything and puts it neatly in your freaking suitcase.
Oh, it's great. I got the. Have you ever seen my suitcase inside my suitcase though? When after I open it, like my things are separated. Like my underwear, my socks are in a Ziploc bag.
I'm sure you don't. I'm surprised you don't fly your wife out to come and refold it for you.
No, eventually, once the kids are old enough and we can do that, she'll just be my personal assistant as we, go from place to place when we're, world travelers after we made all this money.
Right.
All right. So
you like my Walt Disney mug?
I think it's great. Never seen that before.
No.
Have you seen mine? Dad rules.
Yeah,
Got
right.
it.
I had never seen this before either. I just opened up the thing and it was there. So.
Isn't a collection of mugs a funny thing? Like my you buy when you first move into your house, you get like a mug set, and then they just get like you get a whole rearrangement of different kind of mugs from all over the place.
All right, let's get started. Enough of this nonsense.
Okay. So today I wanted to touch on this thing that Zuckerberg actually came out and announced a couple weeks ago, which I saw he went live on, I think, Shopify's page. He announced this Facebook shop stuff. And, my initial reaction was, I thought we already had shops. I thought we could already buy from Facebook. So it made me kind of curious. So I started digging around and I had a phone call with our Facebook rep. So I thought I'd just give like a little bit of an intro podcast on it to it because, I haven't really dug into it yet. I haven't, started an account with it yet. I just have some information that I thought it'd be cool to share with you guys.
Yeah, and I wish I can add to this because I wasn't on the phone call. I was actually moving into my new house, and so Kevin, it's gonna be all you, buddy.
Well, you're gonna have some input on some of the content, but it's because it's pretty basic. It's nothing groundbreaking, I don't think, but I think there probably are some unknowns that people may think about it when it comes to, because honestly, like I know that a lot of our clients, I know that I've done it before. I've set up shops in Facebook. So I was wondering what the difference was. So I thought there might be some questions out there.
Right.
Before we get started though, we got to talk about Klaviyo.
Klaviyo
is our favorite growth marketing platform.
Yeah. I didn't see growth in their new read.
No?
Oh
shit. The ultimate e-commerce marketing platform for email and SMS.
See that they changed
up their message.
Yeah, I read it. When she sent the email, I read it and I'm like, oh, I like this so much better. Growth marketing platform to me doesn't make much sense, but I like that much better.
Grow your content grow your contact list, send emails that pop, and create marketing moments that build valuable customer relationships over any distance, which I think is part of the thing what they did for this, from any distance, which they're kind of tugging on that whole social distancing thing, which is obviously a hot topic right now.
Yeah, I mean, and email for us has been really the constant. I mean, we have by the way, we have a Facebook course. If obviously if you guys want to learn about Facebook, go to ecommerceuncensored.com/truth. You can sign up. But one thing that I can say about email is that whenever we're having a slow day, whenever things aren't quite going the way we want it to go, we just send an email.
Yeah. We know we always have that to fall back on.
Right, because if you can, we're trying to hit a number every single day. Right now, our business is doing between, let's call it 4,000 and 7,000 or 6,000 or 5,000 and 7. I mean, it just kind of bounces around. But there are days where we'll do $3,000 in a day because we didn't send an email.
Yeah.
And
so we got in this rhythm of sending emails every day, which have been huge. And it just shows that we own it. We own our experience basically, or our brand customers. I don't know exactly how to put it, but
yeah.
It gives you that kind of sense of security, which is nice. And we're continuing to grow our email list every single day.
Yeah. And if you're not using Klaviyo and you have an e-commerce store, I don't know what you're waiting for. You got to go to klaviyo.com/uncensored and spell that out for them, Kev.
KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. And one other thing I wanted to share is that they're doing something for existing customers now too. They have this contest going on. I think I'm sorry, I don't know exactly details. I think it's for the month of June, but it just started June 1st. It's a contest for existing stores that have Klaviyo accounts, and you basically can enter to win. You tell your story, your brand story, and how you've owned your marketing, and they're going to pick a winner, and you'll win. Let me see, $25,000.
25 grand.
25 grand. 5 finalists will win a professionally produced brand video and a free year of Klaviyo up to $10,000. And 1 grand prize winner will win $25,000 in cash prizes. And in a cash prize. No.
25 grand sounds really good to me right now because I'm going broke.
So that's klaviyo.com/owned growth stories. And you can check out that contest. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we have Rakuten Super Logistics. And what better time than any to try to save some money on your fulfillment and your shipping costs. And they're a huge company. I mean, they have 15 warehouses nationwide that allow you to get your packages to places all over the country faster. Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing the way you said it.
What did I say?
Your packages to wherever you want them to go.
Did I say it very robotic?
Yeah.
My bad.
Anyway.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. They integrate with all the major marketplaces and stores, Shopify, Amazon, all those great places. And they have a really cool offer going on right now that you can provide them with all your costs and everything involved in your fulfillment and shipping. They'll take it and compare it to their costs, and they guarantee that their costs will be better, or they will write you a check for $500. So it's a no-brainer there. And
if you ever, obviously, I'm guessing Amazon's not listening to us. But, if you're not Amazon, I'm sure you don't, or unless you're Amazon, you don't have the kind of budget that they have. But you can use Rakuten Super Logistics to create sort of the same kind of, shipping experience that Amazon uses. The secret to Amazon is that they have these warehouses all over the country, and they know where or which products sell where in the country. So what they'll do is when you're selling on Amazon and you have like use their FBA program, the Fulfilled by Amazon, which is a lot of what the Prime is doing, is their Prime. When you place an order, the way that they get the product to you as quickly as they do is that they have these different warehouses around the country, and they know where people are actually buying from. So, you may think that like, there's this one warehouse sitting in, wherever, Vegas or Nevada. I think there's one, and like they're shipping everything from there. But in reality, they have something in New Jersey. They have something in, all these different states that allow for, and it's funny because I never knew this. I didn't know how they got the packages to us so fast. But really what's happening is like, I live in New York. I place an order. They send it from Jersey. Well, Jersey's an hour from me. So 2 days to get a package to me in an hour or for an hour, drive is really nothing.
Right, and they look at the sales data. So if they see like a certain amount of packages or a certain amount of orders going out from New York, like they'll just store, that certain amount of your product in that warehouse. So they have this all calculated out. So
Right, exactly.
it's a pretty cool system. So go check out that promo that they're running. It's at ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL, and you got to use promo code uncensored when you fill out their little form there.
Right. All right. So Facebook Shops.
Yeah. So like I said, I saw Zuckerberg come on Facebook, a couple weeks ago.
Zuckerberg. What did I say? Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg,
it's your
my
buddy.
boy.
Yeah, buddy.
It's funny because when we were talking to when I was talking to our rep, she was calling him Zuck.
Zuck.
Yeah,
that's what she called him. Zuck.
I guess. I mean,
they must be homies.
Yeah. So, so he came out and we started talking about how, now's an important time because so many people, everything with coronavirus and
people can't leave their houses right now.
And,
that's kind of changing over the last couple of days. It seems like
there's so many nonsense going on. I mean, I can't even get into all the other stuff that's happening now around the world, but the world is changing.
Yeah.
That's basically what his process was. And I don't think I don't think the company was set to blow this out yet. I think it was more of the times going on right now where people have to take their businesses online. Even if they're brick and mortar, they have to somehow get their products out to people without having a storefront. And plus, people after this, even when things start opening up, retail stores, people aren't going to be going as much anymore just because of the fear that this thing has evoked.
All right, so let's talk, Kev, a little bit about why somebody would first want to sell on Facebook, right? Everybody knows that, you have a website, you have an e-commerce store. What would be the motivation for someone to sell on a Facebook? Because, it does seem, for a beginner to be kind of like counterintuitive, really, like why would I use Facebook to sell my product, and what benefit of that is it to me? And, number one, one thing that, we're dealing with right now in this environment is that trust, right? Like the reason why Amazon is so successful is because they have people like me and like you who don't necessarily trust the particular company that you're buying the product from, but because you're buying it on Amazon, that at any time you can return it. At any time they'll take it back and without any problems for the most part. They'll pay for shipping both ways. And that, that trust is a big thing when making a buying decision. I mean, I know that people just buy from Amazon and just with the intent on returning it. Just let me get it in my hands. Let me see if I like it. And if I don't, I'm just going to return it.
Well, I think a lot of times even people will look at a brand on a website and go search that brand and see if that product's available on Amazon. Even though it's the same product, they just feel more comfortable buying it on an Amazon platform.
Exactly. So that's I think for me, the number one reason to sell on Facebook would be the trust factor. Now, the reason why I'm not real bullish on Amazon is because Amazon, when you sell on Amazon, you do not own the customer, right? Amazon owns the customer. Amazon's the one who keeps the customer's email address. And that to me is no bueno.
Well, that was one of my first, the first thing that went off in my head. I'm like, okay, they're creating this shop in Facebook, and all of a sudden you're going to go from building your own store or building your own customer base, and then you're going to be selling your products through Facebook. And then is Facebook going to be is it going to be a Facebook customer? Or is it going to be my customer? I was a little confused with that because I wanted to make sure that wasn't the case. And he, they make this case about how they're doing this for everybody else. They're doing this for the store owners who needs to go online, or, this e-commerce store that maybe it's not doing well, that needs more exposure. But in reality, I mean, this is just another way to keep people on their platform. for longer periods of time.
Dude, I mean, that is 100%. I mean, when they came out with the Facebook Marketplace, I'm like, who the frig is going to use this?
Mhm.
Dude, that thing has been a huge success. I mean, I'm hearing people all the time like buying cars from the marketplace, buying golf clubs from the marketplace, buying office furniture from the marketplace. I mean, people are using it.
Yeah, and it's funny because you don't. We always say that a store has to go through that process of a person needs to know, like, and trust you to buy from you. And as soon as you put that product on Facebook, not in the fact that you click from Facebook to your store, but when you actually buy it on the platform, that whole know and like and trust thing goes out the window because you're buying from Facebook now and you feel totally comfortable. Like, how many people you buy from on these marketplaces that you don't even know who the hell they are, and you feel totally comfortable because you know what, Facebook will take care of it if I have any problems, which is kind of a crazy way to think about it. It's still
No, it is, but it's true. I mean, you trust, that's why people put these trust brands on their website, the logos, is because you trust the logo. And if you saw me on Business Inc. or e-commerce, whatever, and I said, look, I've been in this or on this magazine, you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
there's credibility.
right, exactly. And I'm still a little see how this plays out a little bit. I think for people who are in the position where they have to go online because their stores are struggling or they're closed or whatever, I think this is a good opportunity to like go into the marketplace because you do get that trust factor, and someone's not just going to buy from some random business that may have just launched a store just recently. But if you combine on Facebook, it's totally different. So
Not to change subjects, but I need to get a microwave in this office.
you're not gonna have to leave that place soon. That one office.
That's the point.
You should have
I
heard
think
him yelling at his wife this morning.
Do you think I want to?
Unbelievable.
Do you think I want to come in the office and see you?
You miss me so
Oh yeah, I
much.
miss you. You have no idea
Come
how
on,
much I miss you.
You do. I can tell.
Yeah, so much.
You were so excited to see me last week when we met up to get your TV. I could see it in your eyes, man. You're like a little puppy dog.
right.
I get it.
That's
I
what
would miss me too.
Yeah, I need a microwave in here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your kitchen's not far from there. I could hear your microwave when you were heating up your mug.
I know, but when we're on the podcast, I want to heat up my coffee, and I can't.
In the middle of the podcast, you want to heat up your coffee?
Why not? Anyway. All right. So trust. That's number one. Buying on Facebook. You trust Facebook already. You don't have to worry about you're putting your faith in Facebook, so to speak, rather than putting your faith in the seller. So that's number one. That's probably the biggest thing too. I mean, people will buy off of Facebook. Although, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing, right? Like somebody sent me an email the other day in our business, and they said, I was told never to buy on Facebook or off of a Facebook ad. And then she's like, can you give me the link to your website to buy the product? I'm like, it's the same fucking link.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure. But
yeah, that's weird. I mean, but yeah, everybody's skeptical. There's a lot of personalities out there and you never know. I mean, the other thing would have to be, I think, the experience a little bit. And I'm not saying that like these stores should just go completely and sell on Facebook, by no means. But I have noticed lately that I have seen some ads on Facebook and I've clicked through the website and the experience doesn't seem as seamless to me. And sometimes when you open that Facebook browser and you're looking at that shop, I don't know if you've experienced this, it's not as easy to navigate around. Because it's not really a browser. It's like Facebook's internal browser.
Yeah.
And like when you go to buy something, like I'm so used to like going to buy something on my browser and like having all my credit cards saved and everything like that. And when you go through Facebook, you don't have any.
You don't have that. Well, the other thing though is that, I would never say to use Facebook as your central selling location. Just like I don't ever recommend using Amazon as your central selling location, because if Amazon shuts you down, your business is gone.
Right.
If Facebook shuts you down, I've seen so many people who have had their ads platform shut down and their entire business is gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just another channel, and the more channels you can have, the better, I think. The more ways you can get your brand out there. So the biggest thing I want to talk about is like, how is it different than what is going on now? Because right now you can go on Facebook, you can go on Instagram to companies that have their Shopify site or whatever WooCommerce site hooked up to their Facebook or Instagram, and you can see their shop tab. And it's a very kind of generic experience. So is something going on? You're smiling or smirking.
I'm smiling.
You look like you were smirking.
No, I wasn't smirking.
Anyway,
Why are you looking at me? Finish talking.
so well, I got to look at the person I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to you, right? Do you not look at me when you're speaking?
I try not to.
Anyway, so it's a very generic experience, right? So it's basically just a simple connection to your store where you get a product listing and it's just shown up in a grid basically on Facebook or Instagram. So now they're moving to more of a customized experience. So you're going to have this thing called Commerce Manager. It's in there now. You can go check it out in your Ads Manager. It's another tab under the settings, under that hamburger menu or whatever it is, where you can set up your Commerce Manager. And in that place, you're going to be able to create your collections, create your branding. So you're going to be able to create a more brand centric, I guess you could call it, store on Facebook, as opposed to just like a simple tagging on Instagram where you just have a product, and then you can it gives people the ability to kind of browse around and shop around your site a little bit easier in the platform. And the experience is going to be the same through all of Facebook's platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp was it? WhatsApp and the Messenger. WhatsApp is another one that's, we haven't even touched on WhatsApp that much, even with the ads platform. That's another placement that you're going to have in the ads. I don't know if it's available to everyone yet, but they own that too. So it's just another channel to get your products out to people. So you're going to be able to go and actually preview a store. So it's almost like you're customizing a Shopify store within the Facebook platform, where you can create these categories. You can create these hero images with your categories. You can create like brand stories.
So it's like everything else,
like
though.
that.
You're not really leaving Facebook. You're staying on their platform and you're buying, right? Like, so.
Well, there is, so right now there's something called Facebook Checkout, which some stores have, where you'll actually check out through the Facebook platform. So you'll use Facebook's merchant, I guess, to process credit cards, which is actually pretty cool from a consumer standpoint, I thought, because when I was testing it out the other day, I found a company that was using Facebook Checkout, a couple, actually 2 different ones. And
you found one, or she gave it to you?
She gave it to me, right? She gave me a link to a couple.
Oh.
And I started browsing their little shops, and I added something to the cart. And then I checked out this other one that she sent me, and I added that product to the cart. And then I just kind of just left. So I went back, and then I still had a cart. So Facebook had a cart for me saved of products that I added to my cart. So I went to go check out. I took it a next step further, and this company had the Facebook checkout capability. And it gave me the option to check out once for both stores. So I was buying 2 different things from 2 different stores, and I had one checkout, one credit card submission.
So let's just clarify this a little bit. Not clarify it, but just speak. So I can buy something from Nike. I can buy something from Adidas, and then I can check out with the same checkout for 2 different companies.
That's what it seemed like to me. I mean, this is a very introductory thoughts on it, but that's the experience I had when I had these 2 stores. Nike and Adidas, I don't know if they have the ability to do it specifically.
No, I'm just saying that's an example.
That's the concept, which I thought was really cool. So you have 2 products, you give it a shipping address, and it just, because it's one processor, it's basically the only missing piece when you're buying from 2 different stores is the credit card processor. And then you check out once, and both stores get the fulfillment. I don't know the back end of it. Like, the fulfillment goes through your e-commerce platform. So after you place the order through Facebook Checkout, that syncs directly with your Shopify account. So the fulfillment goes right through your store. So as Jason was saying earlier about like not owning your customer, even though they're placing their order on Facebook, you're still getting that customer on your own store. Now, that's Facebook Checkout, right? So that's like in the initial stages of rolling out on Facebook. Currently, the shops are going to be, so you can browse, you can look around, you can add things to the cart, but when you go to checkout, you go to that store's checkout, right? So in that situation, you wouldn't be able to have one checkout for 2 different products, because when you check out, you're going to that, that company's store.
One other thing that is, very interesting about this that I think gets lost in all this as well is that as these things start rolling out on Facebook, as these different, I don't even know what you would call them, but the capabilities of the platform, I can definitely see how this is going to help Facebook also learn about your customer better. So in turn, it'll help your ads perform better because they know, there may be like a conversion ad, or conversion objective, like Facebook buyers or something, instead of just conversions, where they know that people use their checkout more than they use anything else, which will allow you to put your ads in front of those kind of people, which should bring the ROAS, or the return on ad spend, way up.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I spoke with her, and I was like, it didn't really seem like that was in her universe when I mentioned it, which I thought was weird.
Well,
And
they're not going to tell you that.
Well, she kind of made it like, because they have all those data
points
stuff. So she's like, yeah, I'm not really sure how. And because I was like, yeah, you're going to get a ton of data. Use that and, I don't want to say exploit that, but have advertisers use it because to their advantage.
They're not going to, they're going to make money on this, but they're making hundreds of millions of dollars a day or whatever it is on Facebook. So their ad platform is what is really going to be fed all this data, whether she wants to admit to it right now or not.
I also thought about it too from a standpoint of knowing when someone actually bought something. So a couple weeks ago, I was looking for sneakers, and I bought shoes from Foot Locker, and I was basically done. Like, I'm not going to buy more shoes now, which is, I think, the case for most people. But I continue to get shoe ads. So if someone checks out through the Facebook platform for bought a pair of shoes, can be going to be like, okay, company B, you can we don't have to serve your ad up to these people this person anymore because they already bought. They're good.
Yeah.
So that's another.
She's not going to admit to how they're using the data because she doesn't want to get Facebook in trouble, obviously. But the data is, I love Laura. She's great. And, she's high energy.
Yeah, really, no, I agree.
But she can't say what they're going to use the data for because it's illegal. So
yeah, but that's, obviously they're going to.
But we could say it because we're not part of Facebook.
Well, I kind of said that. I was like, so how is Facebook going to make money from this? And, that's basically how. Number one, I think, is people are going to be on the platform more. If they don't have to leave and go shop somewhere else, there's going to be more places to put ads. There's going to be, more time in front of people. So ad spend is going to go up. Once they do this Facebook checkout thing, they're going to make up money through their merchant center or whatever processing company. So they're going to take a percentage of that at some point. So I don't think we have to worry about Facebook.
No, one thing I'm looking at this deck right now, and like by the way, Kevin, I'm so excited to have my second monitor in here. Like I haven't been able to look at another monitor because I've been on a table.
Yeah. It's quite a difference.
It's quite a difference. Yeah. But, like I do get a little nervous that, it's going to be data overload. Like, I'm looking at their insights page, and their insights page has like a lot of really cool metrics, but it's like, how many places do I have to now look for metrics?
Right.
I got Google Analytics, I got Shopify, I got Facebook ads, I got Google ads. Just like another thing.
Yeah. So Jason's talking about this insights, which is inside this Commerce Manager I was talking to you about, where it's going to show you, all the sales you've had, average order value, all these, key numbers. But
which I love data. Man. I love data, but I was like, okay, I have enough.
Yeah. Shopify, I got analytics, I got Facebook ads.
They never match. So who are you going to believe?
Right. Right. Klaviyo, they're all over the place. So yeah, that's a good point too. There's a lot of things like that.
I'm more excited about the possibility that it's going to make my ads fucking work more.
Yeah,
that's what I care about. I could care less about the shop.
Yeah, smarter, higher conversion rates. I would hope. I would think, but
yeah.
But yeah, some of the stuff.
The other thing is like they're talking, all these stories.
Different ways to
promote the shop. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, some of the stuff that you don't know about that we can't necessarily talk about. So, but yeah, you're gonna have more places, more calls to action in certain places, like the stories, like Jason said. how you could swipe up on your stories to get to your store, stuff like that. Different ways to discover the products and things like that, which is going to be just expand your awareness of your brand.
Yeah, they're basically positioning this thing as a way to brand at scale. Is basically what they're saying here.
Yeah, and make it easy for people who may not know how to create a store, and to bring it to a platform that they're familiar with, and just make it easy for them, which I think it has potential.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to do an update episode on this because this is very preliminary. This is the beginning. But I would love to like test it out and use it, and then kind of come back and really talk about I was just talking to someone. Actually, no, I just wrote an email. Sorry. I just wrote an email for our Facebook course. And I was talking about our ad spend. We spend like $80,000 a month. And I think about how absurd that is. And it's we're not even like one of the top.
Not even close.
No, people are doing that a day on Facebook. I just think about how absurd that is, spending $80,000 a month. I mean, I have a hard time fathoming that.
Yeah. Imagine how I feel.
Imagine how you feel. Oh, you frugal. You are a frugal man. No, you're not frugal. You're cheap. You're cheap.
I'm not cheap. I just like to spend my money on certain things.
I'm cheap.
Things aren't important to me like they are to you. You know what I mean? I'll just wear the same pair of golf shoes for 3 years that are a piece of garbage just because they were $60, because it doesn't really mean that much to me. Which reminds me, I should get a new pair of golf shoes for.
Oh, you don't care.
That was a bad example, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. I've had the same golf bag for 15 years that I won at a golf outing, and it's falling apart. You helped me put it back together last time we played. But just things like that just aren't important to me. I just don't think about them. But a vacation, something in my backyard, a pool, or a hammock swing outside, those kinds of things are kind of get me excited because I can, I enjoy those things.
I forgot where I was going with that. There was a point to that story.
What did you? Oh, it was just about me being cheap, or
no?
It was about the email you sent or something. Email you got?
Yeah.
No.
Forgot.
Oh, we lost track. It happens. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, yeah, definitely. We'll definitely, circle back on this once we get in there. I mean, we may come back and say it's a piece of shit and you shouldn't use it, but I feel like the information that I have, it seems like it has some potential, but we have to dive in a little bit, and I'm sure we will soon. All right.
Yeah. We'll have to come back and report after we use it. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that, we've learned a lot spending this kind of money on Facebook. And I like talking about things that we've actually done and that we've experienced. So I'd love to come back and kind of come back with an episode on exactly our results. Yeah, so
definitely. And you want to mention your
go to ecommerceuncensored.com/truth and sign up for our Facebook course. It's actually in beta right now. I opened up the cart for a couple days and I closed it, but until I'm ready to launch the course, I think I'm going to open it up again. So if you guys want to get on, you can get in the course for a third, if not more. I don't know. This course is probably going to sell. The more and more I'm recording these videos, I'm like, okay, this thing is more like a $2,000 thing. Not a. So if you go to that link, you sign up. I'll send you an email, and you can get into the beta group.
What is the link again?
ecommerceuncensored.com/truth.
Right. You'll sign up there, and then Jason will send you an email follow-up with a special cart link to sign up, right?
Right. Exactly.
Then you got to go, a lot of this thing's going to tie into Klaviyo too after you do. And I got a message yesterday, the Facebook, is this going to be about Facebook, or are you going to have email?
Dude, everybody wants an email course. I was thinking this morning, I'm like, maybe I should, now that I got my desk and I'm in my house and I'm settled. Actually, I got to get some things on the wall because then it's vibrant. I mean, I hear echoing. But once this is, I'm going to do videos for both courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just make sure you send some emails so I could show them how much money we're making. Because I sure in hell ain't going to do it.
So, okay. Klaviyo.
Klaviyo.
Klaviyo.com/uncensored to sign up for your account over there. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. They also have a contest going on for existing subscribers, customers of theirs, of Klaviyo, where you tell your story, you just tell your brand message and how you've owned your marketing, and you can win a bunch of money and potentially some kind of specially produced brand video. So you can go to Klaviyo.com/owned growth stories to check that out. And then you can check out Rakuten Super Logistics to save some money on your fulfillment and your shipping. They have a special promotion going on for our listeners only, and that's at ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL. You can fill out the form there and use promo code uncensored. Tell them all the shipping costs that you have, fulfillment costs. They guarantee that they'll beat it, or they'll write you a check for $500. ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL. All right.
That's it for me.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Stay healthy out there. Stay safe. This has been episode number 170. As always, you can check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com. And we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later.